Hey there, Wally here, and let's relive the Nintendo Switch's launch games by playing 4 of them for the Nintendo Switch's 4th anniversary celebration spectacular that I'm having this week on my channel. Check out the video I put up yesterday. That is the top 4 most played Nintendo Switch games that I personally played. Without further ado, let's jump into 4 launch games and relive memories of some of the most played games I played 4 years ago. So what do we have here? We have Shinin Multimedia's Fast RMX. This is the best that we're going to get when we don't have F-Zero from Nintendo. And this is a pretty great game. I bought this originally on the Nintendo Wii U, and it's a fast, futuristic racer. Can't wait to see how awful I'm going to fare because I haven't played any of these games pretty much since launch. But I know there's polarity shifts. Gotta figure out what button it is to do that. Ooh, it is not a good button. Maybe I can remap it. Who knows? Ooh, speed boost. So the idea is to turn the color of the speed boost in order to continue your speeding ways. Where's my boost button? There it is. Okay, now I'm getting the hang of it. It's coming back to me a little bit, even though I am not anywhere in first place. I am in 4th now, or 5th. I can see 4th. Numbers hurt my brain. Take that 4th place. We're doing it. This was a great little gem to play at launch, in between sessions of, say, Breath of the Wild. Has a lot of content in it. They added new features, I believe, with patches and updates. Yeah, just a full-fledged racing game. If you're looking for one, this exists. This game exists, just in case you don't know. Shinin Multimedia are really good developers and delivered this nice futuristic racing game at launch. Look at me getting first place. I really am excited to go and relive a couple of these games. So we have one down. This is Fast RMX. Definitely a game I played a lot of by myself at launch of the Nintendo Switch. Let's jump into the next one. Voez or Voiz, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I do know that I know how to have a lot of fun with this game. And this is a rhythm game that I played a lot of at the Nintendo Switch's launch. And to this day, it's very fun. It's pretty simplistic to play. It's a very much, like, I think, an introductory kind of rhythm game that I enjoy. I enjoy the challenging ones, but sometimes I just want something more casual. This is the kind of game I would jump into to dust off my rhythm game rust before playing more hectic games. So right now I'm just pressing the what's it called, L and R buttons on the shoulders, and now I'm just holding A, and I can hold B if I want to. I'm switching over to B now. I'm switching over to Y. So any of the face buttons for any of these other notes, any generic note, just pick the button that feels good to you. You can press the directional buttons as well. So it's a really good introductory rhythm game, and I find that I kept on coming back to it even after launch of the Switch because they kept on updating this game with free songs. I don't know, within the last 6 months to a year, I believe, there was a new update for this. So that's just insane. Like 3 or 4 years later, you're still getting content for this, and it's free and it's fun. If you love rhythm games, do not forget that this game exists. Or if you don't know that it exists, look, here you go. It does. It's real. This game's real. I'm surprised that I'm able to do this well. I haven't played this in probably, I don't know, at least a year. So coming back to this and being able to get a full combo on the hardest difficulty of this song is pretty cool. So Voez, however you want to pronounce it, is a rhythm game. Bunch of fun. So many songs. I definitely recommend it. 2 down, 2 more to go. Let's go check out the rest of these Nintendo Switch launch games. But before we do, please consider leaving a like and a comment on this video. I mean, I like donuts. Do you like donuts? I hope you do, because that means that we have something in common, and then we can talk about that in the comments. I also want to know, what are your favorite Nintendo Switch memories or your favorite Nintendo Switch games? Now on to the next game. And of course, no console launch will be complete without some sort of retro game re-release. And this is Shock Troopers by Neo Geo. It's kind of a Contra-esque game that definitely is a lot of fun. So you can go through this game multiple times, different routes. You can play with a buddy. You can play by yourself. As you see quite quickly, it's a really, really cool top-down, classic retro shooting game. I always enjoyed Neo Geo games, but I never really had access to them growing up. So when I saw this and games like Metal Slug, when I had the first time to really buy them on my system of choice, which is usually Nintendo consoles, that's what I had. I went ahead and did that. I went ahead and purchased Shock Troopers. This game right here, bundles of fun, a huge Contra kind of fan, and I thought this was right up my alley, and it is. Look at all these graphics, these visuals. I still am impressed by the visuals of their dying animations, of them flying in and parachuting, of even that background right there, climbing up. It's just so many cool little touches that I still appreciate to this day as someone that grew up on these kind of games and these kind of visuals, like 2D games, definitely NES, Super Nintendo. That's my childhood right there. So being able to relive this, and it looks really good, plays really good on the Nintendo Switch in both handheld and on docked. I could not ask for more, and this is just so much fun. But that's Shock Troopers, just another game I got to play a lot of on the Nintendo Switch launch. I mean, just look at it, it's a good time, especially if you like these type of games. So let's go on to our next game. So the fourth and final Nintendo Switch launch game I'm going to be talking about today in celebration of the Nintendo Switch's 4th anniversary is going to be Graceful Explosion Machine by Vertex Pop. It's a great high-score arcade kind of game that looks reminiscent to like Geometry Wars on the surface. It looks kind of like it would be a twin-stick shooter, but it is a one-stick shooter and a face buttons with using the shoulder buttons to move as well. So we're going to be using the analog stick to move our ship, and then the face buttons to do different attacks. And then there's a balance that comes into this. Like, you're going to shoot with the B button, you have a gauge on the bottom. You want to collect these nodes in order to get to power up your special bar down there to allow you to use the face button special attacks, like your beams, like your missile attack that it wants me to do, which I haven't done yet, so I should probably listen to that. Let me collect some of these, and bam! This game really did add some extra variety to the Nintendo Switch's early months, its launch period. And I definitely had to jump on this. I'm a huge fan of these types of games. And so you already saw that I got to enjoy Futuristic Racer. I got to enjoy a rhythm game. Of course, a retro re-release that I'd never played before. And then to top it all off, this really cool, neon, colorful, skill-intensive, basically arcade shooting game. That was a blast. I'm surprised how well I am doing after not playing this for years. But and then I get hit, of course. I am a big talk, and then no more talk after I get hit. Nintendo Switch had a variety of games that I am glad I got to enjoy by picking up the Switch at launch. Switch is 4 years old. Cannot believe that. It's insane. It's crazy. But these games that I'm showing you today are near and dear to my heart, and I got to play a lot of it. And perhaps you didn't know about any of these games today, or maybe you found out about one of them, or maybe you heard about them and you remembered, hey, I have that game in my library, and to dust it off, because, you know, new games are always cool, but classics never stop being classics, at least in my mind. Fun games are always fun. And I think that's going to do it. So thanks for listening to me ramble. Thanks for joining the party. Thanks for celebrating the Nintendo's 4th anniversary with me. And I'll see you in the next exciting video.